A good Sunday afternoon to you, Roger Hill of Wuthering Heights. This weather video is driven by 802cars.com, representing 802 Toyota, Twin City Subaru, and 802 Honda, all located off of Exit 7 on Interstate 89. Big broad picture here. We're looking at current weather conditions. A couple things of note here I'd like to show you real quickly, though. This is La Palma, and that's over in the Canary Islands. Of course, that's where they're having volcanic activity currently. This is also sandstorm or sand at this particular reporting station in the northern Sahara, and kind of indicating something that's coming off the coast there. This flow of air is from east to west across these areas, and this is basically in the subtropics, of course. And then what we have over here is an upper level low that's over Arizona, bringing the desert region some more shower and thunderstorm activity. And then out over here we have a lot of smoke being reported, and this is from wildfires that are basically in parts of California and mostly in the Sierra Nevada. What you're also looking at here is Major Hurricane Sam. Sam is a Category 4, and its trajectory takes it in the vicinity of Bermuda eventually, and then off the coast, and then out to sea. The only thing I worry is there's an upper level low pressure system, and that is part of the same frontal boundary that worked through a couple days ago. It's been kind of stalled out across parts of eastern New England into the Canadian Maritimes, and plaguing some areas of Maine where they've had as much as 5 inches of rainfall in that location there, with the city stream coming in out of the subtropics. Well, there's an upper level low, and about the timing of Sam is going to get in the vicinity here. There could be a sudden turn into the Canadian Maritimes, perhaps affecting Newfoundland, but it does look like the east coast of the United States is not going to be affected by that. Let's take a look at the temperatures real quickly, and what we see is where the warmth is, and that's down mainly in parts of Florida, some of that progressing into the plains and so forth. Heat indices is really where it shows. And right now we're seeing it mainly in southern parts of the region. So a lot of the country has cooled off, and it's featuring a little bit more autumnal-like temperatures. And with that particular setup of a kind of almost zonal flow, weak ridging, and then kind of a zonal flow coming out of the west-northwest, disturbances at least across the northeast United States are going to be moving through fairly quickly. And it does look like they're kind of moisture-starved now. Source regions not really opened up for the Gulf of Mexico or the Atlantic. That means lighter precipitation ahead, and that indeed is what the indications are for the European model. For any kind of anomalous precipitation is generally going to be near normal right along the northern tier regions to below normal otherwise. And this is the latest incremental European, and what we have kind of a flat ridge providing us with the rest of today, Sunday, decent conditions overall. A little bit of sporadic precipitation upstream. This is from a shortwave trough that's working through the region up the Great Lakes and into some parts of Canada. Temperatures are pretty cold with this up in the northern parts of the region, but that's not going to affect us. But we do have a little bit of a cool down. This is the band of showers that's going to work through mainly our northern tier. That's where near normal precip is. This is kind of a time of the year where our precipitation levels fall off considerably, and so even getting near normal precipitation is relatively light. But the rest of Vermont is going to be seeing less than, or drier conditions, less than normal precip. And once we get into the day on Tuesday, that's going to continue, and then that front kind of works on through, cools us down just a little bit, and we get cooler weather for the mid to end of the week. But an area of higher pressure will also work in tandem on Tuesday. This is into Tuesday night, and then by Wednesday, still looking at a little bit of sporadic shower activity that kind of drops in. You notice that temperatures here in the blue here are cold. That's colder air aloft. But that's not going to be a concern for us, and it's not going to issue any kind of a worry for us here at all. And then looking at the 0Z weather, you can see that there's some precipitation that's going to work on through, and this is valid on Wednesday night into the day on Thursday. So a little bit more unsettled. This upper level low is going to be here, and what it's going to do is it's going to turn Sam out to sea, but my worry is that it could affect Newfoundland, some parts of the Canadian Maritimes. Just to run the progression here, we're looking at overall light precip, very sporadic until this frontal system. We're well after the period now, and that's where Sam comes into play with Newfoundland potentially. Looking at GFS ensemble, what you can see here is sporadic precipitation, some drier stretches as well, but the overall trend is that we're not looking at a lot of precip, as you will see here. And a couple of other metrics here, looking at precipitable water. Just barely gets to 1 inch. And then putting CAPE over that. Little bits and pieces of instability just about each day, but nothing major. And then beyond that, precipitation type is still looking quite good in the form of rain. Overall, fairly dry coast to coast, but Pacific Northwest, this is good news for the areas, the Pacific moisture coming in, as well as the desert Southwest. This upper level low over Arizona is going to pull in a lot of Sonoran monsoon, Sonoran desert monsoon weather into Arizona and especially New Mexico, and some of that gets bled off and then pushed northward. And over Vermont, northeast United States, we're looking at basically less than 0.25 of an inch, with the most of it across that northern tier region. Climate reanalyzer looks like this, and you can see a little bit to the south and west is cooler than normal weather. 2-meter temperatures centered on Montpelier, Vermont. You can see warmest today, and then a bit of a cool down. More autumnal-like, with temperatures basically in the 60s. Dew point temperatures look like this. And meteorological output statistics weighted for the next 5 days. High temperatures looks like neutral across the northeast. A bit of a warming trend across the areas of the center of the country. A little bit rainier in the monsoon here, cooling the temperatures off, and then also that moisture coming in off the Pacific. 3 days later, neutral. Green eggs and ham, Sam I am. Major hurricane category 4, headed toward Bermuda. Sam will take this route, but again, some of them have them curving a little bit into the Canadian Maritimes, so something to watch. That's it from here. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights. Thanks for watching.